Hey yo, what's up? It's your boy DJ Slick Daddy.
This DJ Slick 504.
And of course, I'm your girl, Black Coco.
Tune into the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, every Tuesday, 7 to 8:30 with all the trending topics.
And you can also check out my mix, DJ Slick Mix Club 1 and 2.
And of course, check out Coco's Sex Tips of the Week.
And hashtag TTBF. That's that bullshit. It's the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, Tuesday, 7 to 8:30. We're always live. Let's go.
What it do, y'all? It's DJ Slick Daddy from the Live Line, here to tell you about the hottest bar on the West Bank, After Dark Sports Bar, 419 LaPelka Boulevard in Gretna. Come check us out on Monday for steak and oyster night. Thursday, free seafood night. Friday, 3-for-1 happy hour. Saturdays, ladies night, and always open for parties. And then Sunday, Saint Sunday, oldie but goodie Sunday. Come find out what is hidden for at After Dark Sports Bar, 419 LaPelka Boulevard in Gretna. Doors open at 6, 12 p.m. on Sundays. After Dark is a non-smoking atmosphere.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Oh yeah, we live there. We in here. New Orleans, baby. Yeah.
Holla at you, man, in the app with us. And we gonna make this thing on the top of New Orleans Talk Network. With real fans talk about real sports. And not only sports, it's everyday activity and life, man.
Yo, what's up? It's Poogle Williams, 2017 Mr. Football. You are now tuned into FanView Live on New Orleans Talk Network.
Well, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayoU15.
Listen, this is your boy, Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFredJones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with G Sports. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Gray, A.K.A. G, and on Twitter, G_paid-in-full-08.
Pay me the money! money! Not over, but it's. I said the fact they don't have a timeout left makes it over. I said, all DeMarcus Cousins got to do is make one of the game over. Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome to FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports, New Orleans Talk Network. Listen, this is your boy Fred.
G Sports in the building, man. How y'all making out?
Man. Y'all already know what time of day it is. It's about that time, man. Us as fans, we got to talk what's going on in the world of sports, bro. My man, Coach Henk, couldn't be with us tonight. A lot of spring ball going up there in Tangible Hill Parish. Coach Henk can't be with us tonight, but definitely he'll probably give us a buzz. He'll probably give us a call. But y'all know that we got a lot to talk about. We got the Western Conference Finals. We got the Eastern Conference Finals now here. We got to talk about my pals. How we, did for the season. Did we overachieve? Boogie Cousins to talk about. We're going to talk a little Spurs, Kawhi Leonard, where should he go? Is it a mistake if he's going to get traded or not? We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the NFL too. Mark Ingram got suspended a couple of days ago. 4 games.
Trying to enhance his attributes.
PDs.
Allegedly.
He appealed it, but we'll talk about that in the 7 o'clock hour. We got a little football to talk to. We got to talk a little Dez Bryant too. But we definitely talking a lot of basketball and a lot to discuss. Y'all know what I do before I get started the show. I always get a shout out, salute to my my fire department. I'll give a shout out to my military. Fire department, you know, I give Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, first responders. I got them in there, baby.
Finally.
I didn't forget them, you know. I give a big shout out, salute to you guys. Thank you so much for the services y'all do as a country. We can't give enough, you know, for what y'all do. Thank y'all so much. Again, this is FanView Real Fans Talk Sports. This is the show where we as fans get a chance to talk and give our opinion and commentary about what's going on in sports here.
And we like to interact with you guys. We like to interact with you guys. Even though some of y'all like to talk out your head.
Yeah, talk out your mind.
We like to interact with you guys, man. And we like to prove Fred wrong from time to time. You know, that's what the show all about.
Yeah, you try. You know, every now and then somebody slide one and then get me on something, you know. The number to call in if you want to get involved in the show is 504-341-8255. Again, and follow us throughout the week on Instagram at FanView, and I got the FanView NOLA on Twitter, FanView NOLA. Y'all can follow my man G Sports on Facebook. You know, a lot of stuff he puts on the internet. I want y'all guys to know a lot of people, you know, local talent, you know where they're getting offers from, where they're committing from. This a guy. If you need to plug right here. But listen, we're going to get ready to get started. We got the Western Conference Finals, folks. Warriors, Rockets. Game 1 this weekend. This is the matchup we all been waiting for.
Well, Monday.
Monday. Starts Monday. Cavs play Sunday. We'll talk about the Cavs in Boston in a minute. But game 1 in the finals starts on Monday. The matchup we all been waiting for as fans, who we all believe is going to be, you know, our NBA Finals, so to speak, it's finally arrived. Here's the question, folks. Does this series go 7 games? Does it live up to the hype? And who wins? G Sports.
Nah. I'm gonna let you go first on this, Fred.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you go first on this, Fred. Man, how dare you? You know how I feel about the Rockets and things like that. You know where I'm going.
You know where you're going?
Everybody know where I'm going. So let me hear your little take on this series and what you think gonna happen.
Listen, I think this series is, now that the playoffs have started, and we got a chance to watch each team play in 2 series. Again, I'm not a big fan when the playoffs start that the regular season, you know, what you accomplish in the regular season, I think it's a great thing. That's for your seeding. But now this is a new season, and I'm looking at the Warriors, and I'm looking at the Rockets, and I'm saying to myself, man, look, the way the Warriors played against, you're not going to like this. The way the Warriors played against the Spurs, and the way the Warriors dominated the Pelicans, the Rockets in trouble. Boy, the Rockets in trouble. Boy, the people in trouble. The way now that Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, the way these guys are playing basketball right now, man, listen, I don't think it's going 7. I think the series ends in 6 in Auckland. And I think that's going to be the bottom line. So the series is not going 7 games. I don't see the Houston Rockets making, with the 2 teams I saw them play, I saw their team was mainly 43s a game. Chris Paul isolation basketball, James Harden isolation basketball. I don't think they're able to make the adjustments that are going to be made, need to be made to win this series. But I think they win game 1, and I think they win 1 in Auckland. But after that, I think that this series is over. The Golden State Warriors wins 4-2, and they go to the NBA Finals to face the winner of the Cavs and the Boston Celtics. This is what I see. I think the matchup that I'm looking at, the way the Golden State Warriors are going to play on the offensive end and be able to just deny Houston some of the things they like to do. They're going to shoot their threes, but I don't think Houston is not going to make the adjustments I think they need to make to beat this team right now that's currently playing. So right now, I don't think it's a shot in hell that Houston beats the Warriors. For people who don't know, I got money on the series.
Ooh, Lord.
I got money on the series, on the Warriors, and I think Houston lets us down. I think Houston is not the team that's going to take this team 7 games and stretch them out like OKC did 2 years ago before Kevin Durant joined that team. And at the end of it all, we're going to have an excuse for Houston on why they didn't make the finals. They played the Warriors. This is what I see. And at the end of the day, I'm holding James Harden to the standard of, at the end of the day, you're the number 1 seed. You're the team who is the best team in the overall West. I expect you to win. And if you do not win, oh boy, I'm going to let you have it on this show. I'm holding you to the same standard that we hold this man who wears the 23 jersey in Cleveland. Season record about the regular season, you're the number 1 overall seed. I need you to handle your business. But go to State 6. And
you know, Fred, you know, one thing that you are consistent with, you will go with the most favorable team. You know, you are that guy that you're probably a Patriots fan at heart. You're probably a New York Yankee fan at heart. Huh? You're probably a Duke Duvel fan.
Absolutely.
I mean, you always like to go with the.
I'm not a Bama fan.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Because it seems like you always like whoever the best team, whoever the defending champion is, that's who you like to go with. But you know what, bro? That's why you got to play the game.
Got to play the game.
That's why you got to play the game. And, you know, people can say I'm biased. I really don't give a damn. Yeah. But if you go back and listen to the things that I've said over the last few years with the Rockets, I've been consistent about the type of teams we had. Last year, people was asking me, do the Rockets got a chance to beat the Warriors? No. The year before that, when we played them in the conference finals, I told people we didn't have a chance to beat them. I thought it could be a competitive series, but I knew we didn't have a chance to beat them people.
Right.
We just didn't match up good with them. This year's a different story. And, you know, everybody know Daryl Morey, the GM for the Rockets, has done a phenomenal job constructing this team strictly to beat the Golden State Warriors.
Facts.
Here's my keys in this series.
By Dwight Howard's no longer in the uniform.
The Warriors love to play small ball.
Facts.
They like to put Draymond Green at the 5, KD at the 4.
Iguodala comes in.
And that's where they get you in a lot of mismatch problems.
Right.
But this was gonna happen. The key factor, Clint Capella. Clint Capella is gonna be the X factor in this series. Gonna be the game changer in this series. Gonna be the unsung hero in this series. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to go out on a limb and say Clint Capella gonna make so much of a difference in this series that he might get a max deal.
Clint Capella.
Like
that.
I think that's the kind of impact he's gonna have on this series. Now, am I saying Clint Capella gonna go out there and score 25 and 12 and 5 blocks? No. But I think he's gonna impact the game to the point where it's gonna make the Warriors conform to playing our style of play versus to their style of play. I guarantee you, if they think they're gonna play small ball, well, Clint Capella in the game, you got another thing coming. Did you not see how Clint Capella was switching out on pick and rolls last series against people like Donovan Mitchell?
You're playing the Jazz now.
So you saying Donovan Mitchell ain't one of the better upcoming guards in the league?
Work of the year. But
all right.
But no one else in that. But go ahead.
Bob Moute. Listen, is Bob Moute a household name? No, by no stretch of the imagination. No. I'm saying that. But Bob Moute is another key player on that team.
Okay.
Is where you could put him where he could play in the 4. He could play on the wing. He can switch on pick and roll.
Right.
That's going to be a key factor. PJ Tucker, another guy who can stick people on the wing and stick people in the post. Those guys are going to be pivotal to what we do defensively against the Warriors. Notice, I'm not talking about anything with offense. And then you got somebody like Trevor Ariza, who's probably going to be the person that's going to be sticking KD majority of the series. Now, is he going to stop KD? No, but I think he can make. He's a champion. He's a champion. And he's going to make things tough.
He can thank Kobe for that.
On Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
He played a big part on that Lakers team when he won a championship. That's all I'm saying.
Facts.
And then Chris Paul, just that mentality, that bulldog mentality he's going to bring to this team, that he's brought to this team this year.
Congratulations to Chris Paul for finally making the conference
finals. This team didn't even think about defense before Chris Paul got there. Chris Paul is gonna have this team locked and loaded, ready to go against these people. I promise you, they're gonna be watching film and they're gonna know everything they need to know to be able to pull out a win on game 1 and 3 games after that to get the 4 games to move on to the finals. And I guarantee you this: we're gonna beat the people in 7.
We got some followers here. We got some people who actually agree with you.
We're gonna beat the people in 7.
Marty B said Rockets in 7. Jory Ross, Rockets in 7. Ariel Kimber, it might go 7, but State, has it though. Terrence Moore, Houston in 7. You know, never thought I'd say it. You got some people who agree with you. Sports.
Smart men.
Derrick Ross. Warriors will repeat. You know, Terrence Moore says 4-2, huh? I'm so disrespectful. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. PJ Brown. Warriors in 5 or 6. I'll be surprised if it goes 6. Warriors in 5. Woo. Listen, X Factor, G Sports, stop it. You know. Then Terrence Moore said,
you ain't watching the game.
And Terrence Moore said, I agree, G. He's changing all he's changing all the shots.
You talking about Capella?
Capella. You know, Cornell Broussard says Warriors in 5.
Oh my God.
Listen, let me tell y'all right quick. This is about matchup, folks. This is what I see. We know a shot in here that Chris Paul cannot hold Steph Curry jockstrap.
Can Steph Curry stick him?
Because Steph Curry ain't sticking him.
Who gonna stick him then?
Klay Thompson.
So who gonna stick James Harden?
Who gonna stick James Harden?
Yeah.
They gonna pay Iguodala.
Man, Iguodala don't start.
They gonna start this series.
So who gonna come off that bench? You need a spark coming off that bench because our second unit is lethal.
Is lethal?
Lethal.
Who stopped Kevin Durant?
I just told you Ariza gonna be on Kevin Durant.
You think Trevor Ariza is gonna hold this guy?
Listen. You're not listening. See, you hear me, but you're not listening. Is Trevor Ariza gonna stop Kevin Durant? No, but he gonna make things tough on him. Who is Steph Curry gonna stick? Who he gonna check?
Who he gonna check?
Who he gonna check?
Who's starting?
Who he gonna check?
They can put him on Trevor. You know Trevor Ariza ain't gonna score.
Stop, man. Trevor Ariza 6'8", man. That's a little boy. That's a little boy, man. Listen. Barbecue chicken, mouse in the house.
I'm telling you right now.
Listen.
These people are gonna put. Watch this. How this breaks down. They're gonna put Trevor Ariza on James Harden. Now, will he stop him? No.
They're gonna put Trevor Ariza on.
They're gonna put Iguodala on James Harden. Now, will he stop him from getting 28, 30? Not by all means. Just like you said, he's gonna make it tough for him. They're gonna put Klay Thompson on Chris Paul. They're gonna make it tough on him. This is gonna allow Steph Curry to roam as much as he want to roam.
How he gonna roam and you got to stick Trevor Ariza?
Trevor Ariza ain't going to the basket.
Trevor Ariza is gonna be a knockdown shooter. You cannot leave him.
You gonna see what he gonna do this series.
I guarantee you they do that. I guarantee you they do that. They're gonna expose it.
If Trevor Ariza averages 25 points in the series, the Warriors.
He's not gonna average 25 points in the series.
He
gonna average. If they do that, he gonna average about 14 to 15. It's gonna be a crucial 14, 15. I believe that.
He gonna have to average 20.
Look, forget all of that. I'm talking about the X Factor.
X Factor.
Clint Capella. Clint Capella is gonna make himself a household name in this series.
You do know he needs to guard the perimeter in this series, right? You know he got to guard Draymond out there.
Draymond, guess what? If Draymond gonna make threes, I'll live with that.
No, you not.
I'm living with that.
No, you not.
I'm living with. If Draymond won't shoot threes, let him do that. Guess what? I'll pat him on the butt and be like this, man. Good game, man. Good game. Y'all deserve to win this. If Draymond gonna knock down threes consistently throughout this 7-game series, I'm like this. I'm patting him on the butt like this. Good game, man.
So what you're
y'all deserve to
suggesting
win
is
this.
that the Rockets allow Draymond Green to shoot.
And let Clint Capella roam. That's who you gonna let roam.
No.
And I'm telling you, listen. When you got somebody like a rim protector like Clint Capella, you can guard a little differently. And I promise you could say what you want. These first 2 series, who they played? Who the Warriors played? The Spurs.
Spurs, and then they played the Pelicans.
You think, and I think that Anthony Davis is a good defensive player. Don't get me wrong. He's a really good defensive player. Really? He can block shots.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's on the same level of Clint Capella when it comes to being a rim protector. I'm sorry, he's not. I guarantee you, Clint Capella gonna make them boys think about it twice coming to the hole. He's gonna alter shots. He's gonna change things up from a psychological standpoint when they get ready to go to the cup. I promise you. Capella, man, did you not watch this, man?
I watched it.
He covering so much ground. I mean, I'm telling you, he makes your defense that much better. He makes you play your gaps differently. I'm telling you, Clint Capella gonna be the X factor in this series. You heard it here first.
Listen, this is what I see. When I see these matchups gonna happen, and I'm saying to myself, what that team, see, everybody on the Rockets, guys like Eric Gordon, guys like Gerald Green, they're gonna have to be consistent at giving them their, 7 points here, 7 points there. You see what I'm saying? Night after night after night. Does the Warriors have a great deep bench? I'm here to tell everybody right now, not like they had in the past. This bench is not the same for the Warriors as if we talking about when they had Barbosa in them and they had Ian Clark. That bench was better. But they done this year because of the addition of Kevin Durant. 2 of those 4 guys are always on the court.
So would you agree that the Warriors do not have a better bench and supporting cast than the Rockets?
When you're looking at the total bench, no. But I will say this. What the Warriors do have is they're going to keep a Klay Thompson or a Draymond Green or a Steph Curry or Kevin Durant. 2 of those 4 will always be on the court.
Okay. So James Harden, or Chris Paul going to always be on the court.
That's 1 of the 2. Not 2 of the 4.
Hey, we was the number 1 team in the league this year.
Regular season over, baby.
We on 67 games this year for a reason.
Don't disagree.
It worked.
It worked.
It worked.
Now here's the deal. It worked when you play teams, a different team every night. Will it work when you play the same team throughout a series? Because this is what you've been averaging. You've been averaging 43 points a game. The question is that these 3 points are knocking down. See, what I have not seen.
We haven't even been shooting 3 good in the playoffs.
But see, that's my point. You've been playing the Utah Jazz and
so why? So you're gonna sit here and act like the Utah Jazz and
the
Timberwolves were worse than the Pelicans and the Spurs?
Boy, you know the Spurs. Boy, you know the Spurs and the.
Stop it, man. Stop it, man.
You know the
Stop
Spurs
it, man.
and
Stop
the
it,
Pelicans
man.
were better teams.
Stop it, man. Stop it, man. The boys ain't have Kawhi. The boys ain't have Kiwi, man.
He ain't played 72 games this year.
Exactly.
And
So don't act like the Spurs just had a team like that.
They had a better team.
Them boys went against a bunch of slap dicks.
The whole year?
I'm talking about in the first round playoff game. When the Warriors played the Spurs, they went up against a bunch of slap
Kawhi
dicks.
didn't play 72 games this year, so that team that we saw.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the first round matchup.
Right.
When they played the Spurs. Everybody and their mama knew the Spurs didn't have a shot to win that series.
Everybody knew the Timberwolves didn't have a shot in hell to win that series.
Man, you crazy. Man, listen. People was concerned that that the Rockets was going to have a tough time beating that Timberwolves team.
And they realized at the game 2, they weren't going to have no problems at all.
Look, that's because the Warriors, the Rockets are just that good. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that the Timberwolves couldn't give them a better matchup because I feel like they overachieved. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry. They should have won more games against the Rockets, but they didn't. They didn't step up to the plate. The moment got too big for them. Whatever. James Harden lit their world up.
The Rockets role players are going to be one of the biggest deciding factors in this series. I promise you.
Now, Derrick Ross says, I'm going to remember PJ. Marty B says X Factor PJ Tucker. PJ Brown said Klay holding Harden. Steph going to hold Chris Paul. Derrick Ross said Rockets bench is not better than the Warriors.
What are you looking at? What are you watching?
Dennis Gunther says, what's up, guys? The Pelicans got 1 game, got 1. I was wrong, but they'll be back next year. Cornell Broussard says, Steph and Harden don't play defense, but the Warriors play better help defense, especially with the Hampton lineup in the game.
What is that?
I don't know exactly what you mean by the Hampton lineup. P.J. Brown says it's going to be hard for him to protect the rim when you have to guard a perimeter, pick and roll, then reset in space the floor, but Clinton be outgone on the perimeter, sticking the shooter. Which I don't. The Warriors play a lot of pick and roll.
So do we.
But you play pick and roll with.
So do we.
2 perimeter players. They play You're playing pick and roll with Chris Paul and James Harden.
Man,
y'all playing pick and roll with all these dudes.
Man, I guarantee you, if the Rockets are smart, you go under the screen with Draymond Green. If they won't run pick and roll with Draymond Green, you let Draymond Green shoot. Clint Capella, stay back, and you be the help side defense.
Now Marty B said, don't sleep on PJ Tucker. He'll hold Klay or KD.
That's another. I'm telling you, he's another key contributor to this team. And he knocking down a corner 3 like it ain't nothing.
So when you're looking at game 1 start Monday, how important it is for the Rockets?
It's very important. It's very important. I actually think that we need to win both games.
At home.
Forget PCC. A lot of people going to say, man, just win 1 at home.
No.
Hell no.
Hell no. They got to win both.
We need to go up 2-0 heading to Oracle.
I agree. Because if you don't head to 2-0, if you don't head 2-0 and the Warriors still won, especially to me, if they still game 1, it sets the tone. Game 1 will set the tone in this series. To me, I'm going to be honest with everybody, right? To me, I've been looking forward to this series. To me, I've been looking forward to this so bad. I've been looking forward to this since 2002 when the Kings played the Lakers and we had that matchup. You know, and we knew that it's either the Kings or the Lakers were going to win the finals that year. Both two teams were the best two teams in the league. They set the precedent for what a conference final is supposed to be about.
Right.
And I haven't seen one like it since.
Well, you about to see it.
I want to see that. I believe in my mind it's going 6. But trust me, dog, I want to see a Game 7. I want to see that overtime matchup when Bibby was off that pick and roll, handling business, knocking down shot, and the Diesel was just letting the Kings know that, hey, guess what? We got to go to the finals, dog. Y'all a great team, but we got to go to the finals. I'm putting this matchup similar to that. It has to live up to the expectation for me. I want to see back and forth in this. It has the same serial where Robert Ory hit that 3, boom, to make it to a Game 7 because the Kings had that game. You know, if Chris Webber don't hit the ball up in there and Robert Ory don't get the ball and hit that shot, then guess what? The Kings win that series. They won that night. They're going to the final. But it ends up being a Game 7. I want one of those type of matchups because we got those two type of teams. And
the Rockets in 7. The Rockets in 7.
Rockets in 7.
We got the MVP on our team.
Yes, you do. And
we got probably the best leader in the league on our team.
You do.
We got one of the best offensive minds coaching our team. We got one of the best rim protectors in the game on our team. We probably have the best role players in the league
who know their position
on our team.
And I'm holding to a standard, baby. You got to handle it.
Rockets in 7, man. Look, the bandwagon full, but y'all can run behind it.
The Derrick Ross says Warriors win by 10.
He delirious.
How about all that?
He delirious.
I ain't taking it too far.
He delirious.
I ain't going that far.
He delirious.
I'm not about to say and disrespect the Rockets like that.
He delirious.
I got one in the 6, but I don't think any game this series is won by more than 10 points. That's just not what I see. I don't see that kind of situation between these two teams. I got the Warriors winning in 6, but I don't see any game where, like, when I saw the Pelicans play the Warriors Game 1 and the Pelicans lost by almost 20 points with no Steph Curry, I knew that series was over with. Like, that's over with. Like, Steph ain't playing and you lose by 20-some points, you don't match up. That's not what I see in Houston. I see Houston matching up, you know, to some degree. I don't think they're going to win the series by any means, but I think that they're not going to have any game where, when it comes down to the last 2 minutes of the game, that the starters are not on the court, if that makes sense. Like, I see it every game where, hey, look, James Harden's on the court the last 2 minutes. Chris Paul's on the court the last 2 minutes. Meaning that this moment is going to matter. This is going to decide what's going to win this game or lose this game. That's what I see.
And I'm going to say something else, too, that I've noticed since Steph been back. I don't think Steph is Steph right now. That's another thing. And you better be mindful of talking stupid about the Warriors going to beat us in 5 and the Warriors going to beat the Rockets in 6 and all this. Boy, Steph ain't looking like Steph. Now, is he going to be, I'm put it to you like this. A 75% Steph is probably better than damn near majority of the point guards in the league. But I'm saying, if you think a 75% Steph going to beat the Rockets, you got another thing coming. That's all I'm saying.
I would say this. When it comes
That's all I'm saying.
When it comes down to it, I'm looking at this match and I'm saying to myself, man, look, it got to be must-see TV. I think this matchup has to be everything that you're looking forward to. I think this matchup has to be, because this is how I looked at it. To me, and I've said this, I did a video, I think the Western Conference this year, as far as when I've seen the playoffs, it has not been competitive. What do you mean, Fred? Well, every series has been ending in 5 except that Jazz Oklahoma City. And to be honest with you, Oklahoma City has more issues than a little bit. First and foremost, you got a star player that nobody can play with. And 2, you got 2 other all-star players who may not be hitting the same uniform this year. So they got bigger issues. But every series has ended in at least minimum 5 games. So I'm at a point where I'm looking at the Western Conference, and then we got the 2 head honchos about to face off with each other. And I'm saying to myself, hey, can I get 5 games? Can I get 6 games? Can I get 7 games? Because right now, underneath y'all 2, it looked like the rest of the 3 through 8 looked like, you know, it didn't look competitive. You know, they looked like, you know, they was outplayed, you know, continuously. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm watching every minute and every second of every game being played, these two matchups here, because at the end of the day, I'm holding James Harden to the standard. And don't get it twisted, folks. If the Rockets win, congrats to the Rockets. I lose my $50. But I'm holding the Warriors to the same standard. I'm holding Kevin Durant to the standard of, I don't want him to know, oh, you faced the Rockets, I couldn't win. I'm not, no. You left OKC. Don't get it twisted.
Who left OKC? Was it my Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, I'm holding you to a standard. You need to get to the finals. I don't want to hear this, oh, they played the Rockets, you know. No, I don't have that built-in excuse for you. You need to get to the finals. I don't want to hear, oh, we faced the Rockets, they were the better team. No, no, no. You got a guy on the other side who was 23. Everybody holds to their standard. I'm holding you to that standard too.
Like I said, I'm gonna say this. I think we need to switch gears. The role players in this series is gonna be the deciding factor, and the only person I respect out of all the role players on the Warriors team is Sean Livingston. I'm switching gears on that.
Ooh.
Remember that.
Sean Livingston.
Sean Livingston, the only one.
Ooh. We're gonna go ahead and shift gears on that note. Listen. The New Orleans Pelicans went down, played the Warriors. They had a great matchup. They played the Warriors pretty good, but at the end of the day, they lost the series. The Pelicans season series is over. The question we're gonna pose to everybody, and y'all feel free to tune in and leave your comments. Did the Pelicans this playoffs overachieve? Did they overachieve? You know, they finally got to the second round. You know, when you look at the whole season. We're not just talking, you know, playoff, but the whole season. Did the Pelicans overachieve this year?
I think they did. I mean, when they lost Boogie, I thought it was over. I thought they didn't have a shot in hell to even make the playoffs, but they did. Rondo showed that he is still one of the elite point guards in the league when it comes to running the show. He looked like the Rondo of old when he was in Boston.
Right.
I thought he did a great job of putting people in the right spots and just facilitating and getting everybody involved. Anthony Davis played up to the MVP caliber player that he's been showing the last 3 or 4 years and showing why he's a top 3, top 4 player in this league. Drew Holiday, when he's healthy, he shows that he's one of the best two-way players in the league. Right. I think when Dell Demps got Mirotic after Boogie got hurt, that was a key pickup because he came in and was able to stretch the defense and that gave Anthony Davis more room to be able to do his thing down there on a low block. I think where the Pelicans couldn't get past is the fact that their bench.
Right.
Ian Clark, Darius Miller, those two are probably really the only consistent players that they had this year off their bench. I mean, Check Diallo,
energy guy.
He really just couldn't get into the mix this year and make plays on a consistent basis. Solomon Hill, the guy just never wants to get a haircut, never wants to get a line in. For that, I put you behind the 8 ball and you just can't make shots. And you're supposed to be one of the better defenders in the league. You couldn't do that. So what are you here for? And you're making $52 million. Correct. Stop it. We brought Mecca Okafor in with his bad back. Why? I don't know why we brought him in because he didn't even touch the floor the whole playoffs. So that didn't even make no sense. The rookie we drafted from Duke, Frank Jackson, your guy, with the broke left foot, he didn't touch the floor this year. I think he could have been a key contributor if he'd have been healthy this year. But hey, we always saw him with these Armani suits on all year, with these nice Ferragamo shoes, and so we didn't even get to see him even break a sweat this year.
Hey, he a blue devil. Keep going.
Jordan Crawford, they signed him, they cut him, they signed him, they cut him, treat this man like he's somebody out of Shishi. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
instant grits.
I mean, Jordan Crawford just could not get on the floor for some reason. I don't know why. I was trying to figure out why Gentry couldn't insert him into the lineup coming off the bench at some point during the playoff, but he never did. And DeAndre Liggins, I thought he should have been somebody that should have got inserted into the lineup because he's
like the new Kentucky down here.
Because
how many Kentucky alum we were supposed to sign Terrence Jones at some point in time before we Okafor?
Liggins should have been playing a lot more. That's a 6'8", 6'9" wing who could defend the 4 and the 3 of the 2. Not really a good offensive player, but the guy's a good defensive player. I think he should have played a little more. But at the end of the day, I feel like for the Pelicans, for what happened this year with Boogie getting hurt and all of those things, I think we did a good job of sweeping the Blazers. I would have never thought that. I thought we could win that series, but I didn't think they'll win a sweep. And you know, to even win one game against the Warriors. And actually, game 2, they had that game. They had that game, and I think that was the game.
Warriors won that game due to more. They shot more free throws.
And
but they outplayed the Warriors.
And I think if the Pelicans could have pulled that game 2 out, who knows how this series would have turned out. So hey, I think the Pelicans should get themselves a pat on the back, and this should give them a lot of confidence going into next year. And the key gonna be, I mean, I heard Gentry come out and say they want to have Boogie back and things like that. But like I said in previous weeks on the previous shows, I think they need to let Boogie walk. Now, if Boogie wants to get signed to something under a max deal, I'm willing to bring him back.
Right.
But I don't think they should sign Boogie to a max deal going into next year.
I just think this. Now look at the Pelicans. Now look at this season. We got to really realize this. I stated it. When we first traded for Boogie, I didn't think the situation from a lineup standpoint was good. I did enough commentary about why I don't think Boogie will be a fit. But this year, starting off this year, they won games. And when he got injured, I saw chemistry got better as the game went on, especially when they traded Mirotic out of Chicago, playing Rondo last year in Chicago. You saw chemistry being built. So when I look at the situation, did the Pelicans overachieve? The answer to the question is yes. And here's why. Because when you got a guy who's going to be dominating the All-Star game, who's averaging like 25, 26 points and maybe like 11, 12 rebounds in Boogie Cousins, when that guy gets injured from a normal team, morale diminishes because he's one of your best players. So the morale of a basketball team just drops because you can't just replace that. But let me tell you what did replace that. Chemistry, continuity, leadership, roles. All those things increased when a Boogie Cousins did not come there. And we saw guys like Etwan Moore, who I've been advocating of. This guy ain't worth the $32 million we played. But come the end of that season, come that playoffs, you start seeing him hitting some shots, start doing some good things. Mirotic didn't know how in the world he was going to fit into the situation, but hey, he started playing out of his mind. Drew Holiday actually started playing the right position that we started wanting him to play. He really started playing the 2 a whole lot more because why? Guy like Boogie Cousins was on the court not taking the shots away. So he was able to be what he wants to be, which I thought he could be all alone, which is a much better Kemba Walker, a guy who wants to attack, a guy who wants to score, get to the basket. You saw Drew Holiday really roll, come alive when Boogie Cousins was not there. And with all that momentum going to the playoffs, you saw how that team was able to play against a guy like Portland. I don't think this team would have really done all these things that Boogie Cousins was on the court. I don't think they'd been able to sweep Portland. I think Portland would have won a game or 2 because of the way the continuity, the chemistry, and the offense would have been. To win a game against the Warriors, and they won a powerful game, game 3 at home against the Warriors. They beat them. They beat the brakes off them. So did they overachieve? Yes, because reality is we didn't believe that this team could really go get this far in the playoffs. We didn't think this team could sweep Portland.
Right.
That way, the way they did.
Right.
It wasn't like, oh, no, they beat the brakes off of Portland. And so when you start looking at that stuff and you say, yes, this team has overachieved. Now, with that being said, you set a standard when you overachieve. Now you say, oh, you got one of the best players, you got top 5 player in the league in Anthony Davis. You got one of the best 2-way players in the league in Drew Holiday. A guy who could defend and a guy who could score on the offensive end. You got one of the best 2-way players in the game. You got a Rajon Rondo. We've been calling as fans playoff Rondo. You know what I mean? Coming out of here, distributing the basketball. Average, one of those games, he had 21 assists.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
When you start saying that, you say, look, you start creating expectations if you could bring that roster back. But now, you got to build a team to where, hey, look, you're one player away from getting maybe winning 2 or 3 games or making this Golden State Warriors series not just 5 but maybe 7. I don't think Boogie Cousins is that guy. Whether he's coming off the Achilles or not, I saw this team chemistry-wise grow. This team is missing the wing. We know they ain't the guy who don't get haircuts. So with that being said, with all that being said, you got to use your resources to go out there and get a guy.
Right.
That's the facts. If you can't go get the guy who's in a Spurs uniform, then you got to go make your way get a free agent guy. And we already know who that guy is. He played in OKC this year. You got to go make a way to make a push.
Right.
Because you overachieved this year. But when you overachieve, you create a standard. See, now you can't not just feel like, they you went into the playoffs as a 6 seed and you swept the 3rd seed.
Right.
So here's the deal now. You can't go to the playoffs next year as a 6 seed. See what I'm saying? You got to go into the playoffs as being a 4th seed or a 3rd seed. You got to start showing teams now that, hey, you're the 3rd best team in the West. Because you beat the 3rd best team in the West, convincingly. So when it was all said and done, when you looked at it, people saw the Pelicans this playoffs after they beat Portland as the 3rd best seed in the West. So now you got to play like it now going into next season. You know, going into the season, did we believe as fans that they were the 3rd best team in the Western Conference? No. But that's what happens in the playoffs when you overachieve. When you beat a team like Portland, who has an MVP candidate on their team, and you dealt with them like the way you dealt with them. You know, the Utah Jazz did a great job, but they beat a team who's kind of disgruntled and who never got the chemistry together. But when you beat Portland like that, who C.J. McCollum and Dame been there for seasons now, you beat those guys, the way you beat those guys, hey, people are saying the Pelicans are the 3rd seed in the West now. But now you got to start playing like it. So did you overachieve this year? Because we didn't have that expectation going into the season. You thought they were going to be an 8 seed, scratching on 7. Right now, you like when you go from 8, scratching on 7, but now looking like a 3rd, you overachieve. But now that's the standard now.
I gotta kind of disagree to say that that's the standard, saying that the Pelicans gonna be looked to be a 3rd seed. Now you go sign Paul George, or you get Kawhi Leonard, or LeBron James. We get a fully clove in our back pocket and sign LeBron James. Yeah, we should be a 2nd or 3rd seed. But if we come back into this season, just say we do sign Boogie back,
right?
I still don't think that puts the Pelicans at a top 3 seed in the West.
Right.
It doesn't. It means that we're a playoff team, but we're not a top 3 team in the West. They'll be around 4 or 5 again, and you'll lose to the Warriors or the Rockets again in the playoffs. That's why signing
Paul George?
No, if you sign Boogie back.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why you got to go out and make this push for LeBron, Kawhi Leonard, or Paul George. You got to get one of those 3. David Bourgeois said definitely should have been playing. I think he talking about DeAndre Liggins when I was talking about him.
Right.
Terrence Moore said I had little faith in Dale Demps until a year ago. Cornell Broussard said I agree. Been saying that we needed an elite wing. PJ Brown, they do need to sign and trade with Boogie. Miritich proved that he was a good pickup for them. Do a sign and trade and get an elite wing. Terrence Moore, Pels must get deeper, need a small forward who can shoot and defend. I agree.
DJ Slick.
Ajamu, Akil Page, gotta go over the luxury tax. Sign Boogie, try to get somebody like Otto Porter. Cornell Broussard, if they sign and trade Boogie to the Celtics for Jaylen Brown or Washington for Bradley Beal. Nah, that's some good scenarios.
Good scenarios.
So,
good scenarios.
And I saw some people talking about this on Twitter. They were saying sign Boogie back and just trade him.
Trade him.
You know, but the thing about that is, I don't know how Boogie gonna come back from that Achilles. I'm very, very skeptical about this. I'm telling you, the Achilles these days is the new torn ACL of the 90s. And with him carrying all that weight, I'm not sold that he gonna come back looking the way he looked. That's why now if he won't come back for under a max deal, I'm about signing him. But if this guy wants a max deal, I think you can't play Russian roulette with your season like that.
I think Pelicans.
You can't play Russian roulette with your franchise.
I don't think there's any team now due to this injury is going to pay Boogie Cousins a max deal. I don't think there's a team in the NBA, but I think he's worth a 2 or 3 year deal underneath the max because of the Achilles.
Right.
But I like the scenario when he made up the Jaylen Brown. I like that.
I mean, we got to get more than Jaylen Brown.
We ain't getting Tatum.
Listen, hold on.
You get Rozier.
Listen, we better get Jaylen Brown and that because the Celtics got the Kings first round pick for next year. So they better give us Jaylen Brown and that first round pick for Boogie. You ain't gonna just get Jaylen Brown. That ain't even equivalent.
No. What I'm saying is if you can get
or give us Hayward.
Yeah, give me Gordon.
Give us Gordon Hayward and Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
I take that. Even though we don't know if Gordon Hayward will come back to what he's supposed to be. No. But you ain't gonna just give us Jaylen Brown.
No. But I'm just saying
give us Terry Rozier.
Give me Rozier.
Now and there's another thing. What you think Rondo gonna want? Rondo had a hell of a season.
Yeah, Rondo's not getting paid a league minimum. Rondo got paid $2 or $3 million to come here. He's not getting paid $2 or $3 million next year. Rondo's looking at a situation where, hey, look, I'm a $10 to $15 million guy now on this team. I'm not a $2 or $3 million guy. And then you got to start looking at Miracek. You know, hey, he thinks he's probably a $15 million guy.
I think Miracek still got like a year or two left on this deal, though.
I don't think so.
He not a free agent. I don't think Miracek's a free agent. I think the only free agents is Boogie, Rondo,
and Ian Clark.
And Clark.
Ian Clark.
You know what I'm saying? I think you got to sign Ian Clark back.
You got to sign him back. You know, but then again, you know, I don't know if you pay. I think Rondo is priority. I think you may let Ian Clark shop himself to some degree, but Rondo is definitely a guy that you say to yourself, look, I got to get Rondo back in uniform. But
what if? See, this what you got to start.
But I'm saying to myself, if I can get a Jaylen Brown, or let's just say a Terry Rozier out of Boston, you see what I'm saying, and I can get Gordon Hayward, then I may not want to re-sign Rondo.
Because Terry Rozier still got 2 years left on his rookie deal.
Correct.
And
he's younger.
You gonna be now. The thing about it is the way he been balling, Danny Ainge's gonna want a lot in return.
Want the farm.
He gonna lot in return. He might ask for Boogie, and I don't know who else he might not ask for.
You know he can't ask for 23.
I mean, I'm just saying. You know, just saying.
You hang up the phone.
So that's gonna be critical. So this gonna be a key off season.
It's gonna
be a key off season.
Terrence Moore said, "Look, Boogie definitely want a max. I can't." And Marty B said, "You know, keep Boogie and get Kawhi." Now here's the problem: how can you keep Boogie and
you can't?
You can't because that's the resource that you would need to get a Kawhi Leonard. The Pelicans are not in a situation where financially where you can say, okay, I can go sign Paul George right now and go sign this guy here to a max. That's not their financial situation.
Right.
You know, they paid AD a couple of years ago. They paid Drew Holiday last summer. They really can only afford financially one more max dude. And that guy was forecasted to be Boogie. But if you ask me, I'm using that money to get another guy. I want a wing. Or if I can get a Terry Rozier and a Jaylen Brown, or you could trade Boogie and get guys like that because they're under rookie contracts. You give me a Jaylen Brown and a Terry Rozier, yeah.
Terrence Moore said he think that we should go over the luxury tax. Now, the thing about that, that's where Dale Denson got to sit down and think to themselves, how much did this team profit this year?
Yes.
With ticket sales and all those kind of things, and is it worth going over the luxury tax? And if you go over the luxury tax, you better be in the conference finals. You better be in the conference finals. You go over the luxury tax.
You gotta start asking yourself: you gotta start asking yourself. And people don't understand this. When you talk about going to luxury tax as fans, the question is you're dead on about this. How many times did we sell out this arena with Anthony Davis?
That's what I'm saying. They gotta sit down and with they advisors in the front office and talk and see how much did we profit this year. Can we? Is this even good financially for us as a business?
Correct.
As a franchise moving forward to even go over the luxury tax. And some teams can afford to do that. Like the Lakers, they could do that.
They can do that.
You know, certain teams in the league can afford to do that.
Golden State can do that right now.
I don't know if
Cleveland has LeBron. They're gonna sell.
I don't know if the Pelicans can do it. You know, I remember when the Nets did it with when they had Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and all them boys. They was like $40, $30 million over the luxury tax. But they thought that was going to buy them a championship. And it didn't work out like that.
Right.
But, hey, are you willing to take that risk?
It sounds good, but you have to go to the front office and find out how many times. See, if Anthony Davis was the guy who sold out that arena every night after night, then you say to yourself, yeah, go do it. Because at the end of the day, you know another star or two. That guy that can sell out the arena by himself, so putting another star or two around him makes sense. Like Golden State right now is paying the luxury tax. Why? They sold out the arena prior to Kevin Durant getting here. So getting him, no big deal. We're going to keep it going. Same thing goes for Cleveland. LeBron's selling out this arena. So I'm going to keep pieces around me, around LeBron. But I remember Portland did it like 2 seasons ago. They was up there. Portland with Alan Crabb was on that team. They were paying certain guys. Boy, they got rid of that quick because you have to win. You have to win. You got to fill this arena every night. Now, it sounds good, but the question is to us Pelicans, do we love the Pelicans like that if they made that move? Or are we going to attend every game, win, lose, or draw? Because if you're not doing it, you can't do it.
If some kind of way, some kind of crazy, miraculous way we could sign LeBron hell yeah, I'm going over luxury tax because you know you're going to sell out every goddamn game. You going to get so much money in apparel and all kind of other things you're going to sell.
You get a guy like that, then yeah, you make that move because at the end of the day, I'm buying 41 season tickets. That's just what it is. I got to find out what game. I ain't trying to decide what game I'm going to. I'm going to just know that I'm in the building, you know? And yeah, you get a guy like that, absolutely. Or you go get a guy like, it sounds good on paper, but you got to really, really break that down and say, okay, do you believe that your team can beat one of those two? And if you think that team can beat one of those two, if you sound that guy, then by all means, I'll go for it. But listen, we got to get ready to take our first break. I'm going to get to some of the comments when we get back off a break. When we come back, we're still going to be talking a lot of NBA basketball. We're talking a little Eastern Conference.
Do the Celtics have a legitimate shot to beat the Cavs?
Beat the Cavs. Y'all stay tuned.
Don't go nowhere, man.
Don't go nowhere, man. FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports, New Orleans Talk Network. We'll be right back. We get to some of these comments when we come back off a break. Boy.
Hey, it's your girl Black Coco, and tune in with me Thursdays at 9 p.m. where we talk everything sex, from the latest sex topics to the latest sex trends and a few exotic dancers. Plus, you never know who might drop in. Tune in with me on the Pleasure Hour, only on New Orleans Talk Network.
What it do, y'all? It's DJ Slick Daddy from the Live Line, here to tell you about the hottest bar on the West Bank, After Dark Sports Bar, 419 LaPelka Boulevard in Gretna. Come check us out on Monday for steak and oyster night. Thursday, free seafood night. Friday, 3-for-1 happy hour. Saturdays, ladies night, and always open for parties. And then Sunday, Saint Sunday, oldie but goodie Sunday. Come find out what is hidden for at After Dark Sports Bar, 419 LaPelka Boulevard in Gretna. Doors open at 6, 12 p.m. on Sundays. After Dark is a non-smoking atmosphere.
Hey, yo, what's up?
Oh, yeah, we live thing. We in here. New Orleans, baby. Yeah.
Holla at you, man, in the app with us. And we gonna make this thing on the pop with New Orleans Talk Network. With real fans talk about real sports. And not only sports, everyday activity and life, man.
Yo, what's up? It's Pooley Williams, 2017 Mr. Football. You are now tuned into FanView Live on New Orleans Talk Network.
Well, what's up, everybody? This boy, Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayoU15.
Listen, this is your boy, Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFredJones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with G Sports. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Gray, A.K.A, and on Twitter, G_paid in full 08.
Pay me the money. money.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports in the New Orleans Talk Network. Listen, y'all follow the FanView Live fan page. You know, we always posting and interacting with people throughout the course of week to sports. I'm always posting a picture, you know, a poll, a video. You know, tag a friend who knows a friend. Because this is our time this is our page where we're as fans, we can talk sports. And we get a lot of conversation going, a lot of debates going on, you know, which is really, really good. But right now, if anybody want call into this show, the number is 504-341-8255. You want feel like you want to call in and express your opinions live. Let's do that. That's the number again, 504-341-8255. But now we're gonna shift gears and get to the Eastern Conference over here and talk a little bit. I'm gonna read a few of these comments though from the last segment. You know, and PJ Brown said mirror check. They think he got another year on the deal. Terrence Moore said Pelicans go over the luxury tax. You know, PJ Brown says Ainge gonna ask for Boogie and Drew Holiday. Can't have Drew. You know, Terrence Moore says it's a win now time. You know, we all know ticket prices are going up. Got some small points there. Now we got to shift over to the East. Eastern Conference now. Obviously, the Cavs swept Toronto Raptors. A very great game was played last night in Boston. Boston Celtics won Game 5 to end the series in the 76ers. A lot of hype with the 76ers this year. You know, especially at them beating Miami. People thought the 76ers were the best overall team left in the East. Thought they was going to beat Boston, get to the conference finals. A lot of people, national news, was talking about this. But Boston showed everybody that coaching matters. Having one of the best coaches in the game matters. And Brad Stevens. And Boston takes him out in 5 with no Kyrie Irving. And no, obviously Gordon Hayward didn't play all year. So I won't say Gordon Hayward, but no Kyrie Irving. Question is this. Are the Boston Celtics ready to dethrone the Cavs and get to the Western Conference? Are they ready to dethrone LeBron from not getting to these 8 consecutive NBA Finals?
I think that the Celtics got a real shot to beat these people. You know, the Pacers, let's not forget what happened in round 1 against the Pacers. LeBron them was on the brinks.
On the breaks.
From losing that series, bro.
Facts.
That was a tough series for them people. And, you know, I think the Pacers are a good team. I don't think they're as good as the Celtics. And I don't think they're as well coached as the Celtics. Brad Stevens, and I've been saying this for some weeks. And Kyrie Irving, and you in the conference finals.
And don't forget, not to say that anything bad, but you lose the best player on that team last year in a trade in Isaiah Thomas, who was so some people felt it was a leader of that team.
What he's doing with that team is just, I mean, it's remarkable. I don't know too many coaches that could still withstand all the injuries to your 2 best players and still be in the position that you're in right now. Terry Rozier is playing at a high level. I think that he is going to have it on his mind to continue showing people, look, this ain't no fluke. I am what I say I am, and I'm going to show y'all that I can show up on this stage. Jaylen Brown and Tatum, they are playing at a level that it seems like they've been here before. Al Horford, the veteran of the group, it continues to play at a high level.
Marcus Smart coming back.
Aaron Baines at the center position, the dirty work guy. I mean, the garbage can man. You know what I'm saying? Gets all the nasty rebounds, dives on the floor, blocks shots, do all the little things that help you win ball games. You know, Marcus Morris brings that toughness to their team. Marcus Smart, another tough guy coming in. Greg Monroe, even though he didn't play a lot last series, I think he might play a little more this series against the Cavs. They have some good parts to this team that are going to give the Cavs some problems. And the best thing I could say, that the reason why I feel like the Celtics do have a chance to win this series is because they have no pressure. They are expected to not win this series. So when you got a bunch of young guys like this going into a situation where they're not expected to win, and you got a young coach like Brad Stevens that's giving them all kind of bullet to board material and putting them in the right positions to win and be successful, this is scary. And you on cloud 9. You playing your confidence is through the roof. And so the Cavs better watch out. Now, if I had to put my money on it, would I bet against LeBron? The way he's playing right now? No. But let's not be stupid and be naive. Do not be shocked if the Celtics take these people 7 games, and don't be just overly shocked if the Celtics some kind of way win this series and get to the finals.
I would say this, and I can't disagree. I cannot disagree with nothing you said. Not one bit. See, here's the thing, folks. I had a chance to really watch the Eastern Conference this year. The playoffs. I've made my statements publicly, and I'm going to make it right now. To me, the Eastern Conference right now, this playoffs, the top 8 that made it, has outplayed the Western Conference top 8. That's just my opinion. And I look at...
See how you always go far? That's how you always take it far?
That's my opinion.
Come on.
They've outplayed them. It's for competition. And I see how Indiana played the Cavs. And I see how the 76ers played the Boston Celtics. You know what I mean? I seen how a team like Milwaukee, played against Boston. You see what I'm saying? How I seen a team like Washington play Toronto. I'm saying there's a lot of competition, a lot of Game 6 and the Game 7s on this side of the bracket during this playoffs. And I didn't see that over here. I saw a lot of Game 5s. But over here, I saw a lot of Game 6s and Game 7. I saw a lot of competitiveness. If you don't think for 2 seconds that the Boston Celtics, without Kyrie Irving, can beat the Cavs, I don't know what basketball you're watching. I'm being dead serious. Meaning that I don't think, if you're thinking that the Boston Celtics cannot beat the Cavs in the best, people are crazy. Boston Celtics can win. They can win this series. They can win it. If they continue to play the way they're playing, they can win in the 6. But that's not going to happen. This guy, LeBron James, is playing at an extraordinary level. And I think that's the only X factor that Cleveland has. It's LeBron James. This is a guy who's averaging 34 points throughout the playoffs, who's averaging 9 rebounds and averaging 8 assists. I don't think Boston has that guy on their team who can diminish that value as far as their play. Terry Rozier is going to let this guy here with his George here, he's going to let him have it. He won't stand a shot in hell guarding Terry Rozier. But the Jalen Browns and the Jason Tatums, they got to face this guy. They got to face LeBron. And I think that's where their effect is going to come into play. Where what we've seen as far as production may get somewhat limited. It may not be the extraordinary that we've seen him so far. I think I got an Al Horford who's been here a few times before. He's still going to have to be an Al Horford. You know, I don't think Kevin Love is going to make him feel any more, any less than what Al Horford can do. But what Jason Tatum and what Jalen Brown does so far this playoff, they got to see LeBron. And I think LeBron is still, I think he has it to where in this playoffs, and he realized in this Eastern Conference that I still got to average 34, 8, 9, and 8 to still win this series. Meaning that I can't rely on my teammates I can't rely on this series on Jordan Clarkson to do something that he has not done. I can't rely on Rodney Hood, who barely played the second round of that last series. You see what I'm saying? Even though they swept them. I would say Kyle Korver, I can rely on him. J.R. Smith hit me down some buckets. I can rely on him. But Boston is the better team. So I'm not going to sit there and believe in my mind for 2 seconds that Boston can't beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're the better team going this series. Whether they had Kyrie Irving or not, they can win this series. But LeBron James, if those two guys in Tatum and Brown can offset what LeBron is going to do as far as the 34 points, the 9 rebounds, and the 8 assists, then I say Boston is going to beat them in 6. But if they cannot, they will lose. Boston will lose in 7. This is going to be a series that I wouldn't, as a fan of basketball, don't disregard it. Don't look at it like, oh, they don't count. No. This series is going to count. It's going to matter.
P.J. Brown makes a great point. He says, from the Pacers series, the Cavs' on-ball defense is horrible.
Yes.
Kyrie being out in a strange way may have helped the Celtics. I agree with you totally. Nobody is ball dominant. They don't care who scores. They just want to win. Brown and Tatum are playing great. Rozier done turned into a Kyrie Jr. Bro, the Celtics have a great shot at winning. And that's what I've been saying. If Kyrie was in this, like was still playing, wasn't hurt,
right?
I don't know if they're in the conference finals. Because, like P.J. Brown said, he makes a great point. Kyrie is so ball dominant and so much of a one-on-one player, and he doesn't really make his teammates better. They don't have the same rhythm on offense. Terry Rozier gets all his points within the offense. Or he runs the offense, and when it turns back over to him, then when the shot clock's running down with like 9 seconds left, and then he's making a play off the bounce. That's what's making this team so tough to guard right now. And when you got a team that doesn't have one person that just ball dominant, it's hard for your defense to have good rotations. It's hard for your defense to lock in on one player because they're moving the ball crisply.
Right.
They're making the right basketball play. And all 5 players on the court is in sync. And that's what you get when you have somebody like Kyrie Irving not on the floor. So that's a great point by P.J. Brown, and I can't agree with him even more.
Nah, he makes another great point. So y'all think fatigue might come into play with LeBron, has been playing a lot of minutes? Yeah, fatigue going to be a factor. Because here's the facts, folks. The Cavs roster is Purdue. They only here because of LeBron. So I don't expect him to get any help that he has not gotten from this team. He hasn't gotten no help. That team wouldn't have made the playoffs if he wouldn't have been on this team. They wouldn't have got this far without him. So yes, minutes are going to be a factor because now he's playing probably the best complete team and the best coach team that he's going to face this playoffs. Not in the same sense of, I'm talking about the Eastern Conference. This is the more complete basketball team in the East and the best coached in the East. So those minutes are going to be a problem for him. I don't think he's going to be able to average 35, 38 minutes. But the question going to be is
LeBron going to play 40 plus minutes.
that's gonna take a toll on him.
He gonna play. I mean, he gonna have to. But at the end of the day, I think Brad Stevens gonna play it like this. I think he's telling his team, he's like this. Look, if LeBron gonna score 40, let him score 40. We just can't let Love score 30. And we can't let Kyle Korver hit you for 12, and Tristan Thompson hit you for 12, and JR hit you for 12. We gonna stay home on everybody. If LeBron won't score 40, let him score 40.
By all means.
That I wouldn't even be tripping on trying to stop LeBron.
It's everybody else.
It's everybody else. You let LeBron do him, and I promise you, they'll put themselves in position to be able to have a chance to win this series if you take it like that. And Brad Stevens is a phenomenal coach. He gonna have a good game plan.
That he is. I just look at it from the standpoint of I'm looking at the Boston Celtics and I'm saying to myself, dang. The only thing I don't know about them is that I don't know if this moment is too big for them. As a Jaylen Brown, you know, even though he was on his team last year, he didn't play that much like he's playing now as a contributor last year. Obviously, Jason Tatum was that dude. Terry Rozier was not getting the minutes like he's getting now. The only guy who was truly on his basketball team last year that was contributing in these moments was Al Horford.
Right.
Now the question is, I don't know how much that's going to be a factor in this series. Can it be? When you're facing a guy like Bron, it could be a factor. You don't know in critical situations, you know, what they're going to do because you're facing a guy of this caliber. That could be a factor. But if you're asking me what team is better roster-wise, top to bottom, it's the Boston Celtics. What team is better coached, top to bottom, it's the Boston Celtics. But these guys are new to this moment. The guys who've been making plays for this team to get to this moment, they're new to this moment. They're new to the conference finals as far as being contributors. Jaylen Brown is new to this as being a contributor. Jason Tatum is new to this as being a contributor in this moment. So is Rozier.
But you keep thinking about. I think you overthinking this, Fred. You keep saying, is it too big for them, bruh? They are not expected to win this conference finals. They're not gonna have any pressure on them. Brad Stevens gonna make sure them boys have a clear understanding that nobody's giving y'all a chance to win this series, and that's gonna take all the pressure off them. You watch how you gonna see them boys coming out the free spirited, shooting the ball with no conscience.
Could be.
They gonna come out there free and ready to play. If they gonna lose this series, it's gonna just come down to LeBron just play out his mind and he raised the level of his teammates. That's what it's gonna come down to. It ain't gonna come down to the stage is too big for these kids. It ain't. This the NBA. Like I say, them kids not expected to win this series. I promise you, they're gonna be ready to play. I promise you, they're gonna be ready to play. Promise.
I would love. I think this is gonna go. This is if any series is going. I see 7. Like I truly see it 7. Like not that I want a 7, but probably will go 7. Is this series because of matchups and because of adjustments. Brad Stevens, whether he loses a game between the series, you're gonna see an adjustment come. LeBron's gonna figure, okay, look, I gotta make an adjustment when I lose a game here on his end. Look, we can't do this like this against the team. We can't do this against a team like this. This is our strength. This is our weakness. Let me be able to flip. I'm gonna be a scorer, but at the same time, I'm gonna be a facilitator. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make this series go where it needs to go. Now, can Boston dethrone them? I would say this. If Boston wins this series without Kyrie Irving, boy, listen, there's going to be a lot of talk about should this team keep Kyrie Irving. That conversation is coming up. You can put your money on it. Because
get rid of him. Trade him.
This conversation is going to be, it won't be a fictional conversation. It's going to be a real conversation whether they win the finals or not. Because you're going to say to yourself, this team got here without a Gordon Hayward. This team got here without a Kyrie Irving. Regardless of what they did in the regular season, you're going to say to yourself, hey, I had a team who, and it won't be a fluke. It won't be one of those where hey, you know, they did it by default. No, they beat the 76ers. Mm-hmm. You know, they beat the Milwaukee Bucks. They beat the Cavs. And they beat them non-injured. This conversation is going to be up. It's going to be up for. Do you need to keep this guy? Is Rozier going to be the guy? Hey, what can I get for Irving? What can I get for this guy like this? You know, can I get another big man out of the equation? Can I get a missing piece and a missing element out of this situation? Because we didn't believe in the process. We talk about the process when it comes down to the 76ers. But I'm here to tell y'all right now, no one really believed in the process of what Danny Ainge was putting together. And we thought he was collecting all these first-round picks, and like, you just collecting first-round pick, but y'all not winning.
And another key thing is people got to realize, man, Kyrie Irving, his durability has been in question the last 3 years.
It's been in question since he's been an NBA player.
That knee injury has been, I mean, his knee has been bothering him off and on the last 3 years.
Right.
I mean, we don't know if this is going to be a lingering thing. Man, I'm telling you, not only is he a ball stopper, and he doesn't keep your team chemistry at a high level when he's on the court.
I consider ball stopper is Melo. I don't think Kyrie
Irving is a ball stopper. He's not as bad as Melo and Westbrook, but he's a ball stopper. Kyrie, chemistry-wise, he's not good for the team. He's a hell of a talent, one of the best talented players in the league.
Superstar.
But he's not good for what the Celtics like to do. Not for Brad Stevens' system.
Ball stopper.
And with his durability issues, if I'm Danny Ainge, I'm shopping him.
Right.
I'm getting him out of there, and I'm improving my team even better to not only be set up to come out of the Eastern Conference, but to be able to dethrone the Rockets or the Warriors coming out the West. That's what you need to be shooting for, man. It ain't just about getting out the East. You know what I'm saying? And another key factor to this series, if the Cavs want to be able to get to the finals and beat the Celtics, Jordan Clarkson has been a shell of himself. I don't know what's going on with him, but he has not been playing to the capabilities that he's
The man used to be on vacation, G. The man used to be in the Bahamas by now.
You're right. You're right.
Know what LeBron told him?
Right.
Hey, bro, you ain't going home yet.
Right. He used to playing 82 games.
Yeah.
Jordan Clarkson has to come up big for them in this series off the bench.
He used to book in vacation flights, right? Him and Larry Nance. Him and Rodney Hood.
Jeff Green is another one.
Got to come up big.
That he needs to come up big and help LeBron out this series. I think if Jordan Clarkson could come up big, and when I say come up big, I'm not saying he needs to go out there and score 20 points a game.
No.
But if he could come in and give him 12 to 15 points.
He got to give him 12.
Consistently, Jeff Green come in and score 10 to 12 points and be a great defender because both of them could defend too. I think they'll be better off coming out the East to beat the Celtics in the conference finals. So that's my key factor for the Cavs. Jordan Clarkson and Jeff Green.
Now we got some comments here. You know, Charles Scott said, 4-1 Cavs, the role players for the Cavs will step up big and play big. You know, everyone else tried and it looked what happened. You know, Cornell Broussard said, agreed, best coach team LeBron has played in the playoffs. Celtics will double LeBron and get the ball out of his hands in the critical moments in the game, unlike the Raptors. You ain't lying. I don't know what Dwayne Casey was thinking. This dude can't shoot the ball in the last few seconds of the game. That's why he shoot the ball. Then you put somebody who's like, Kyle Lowry's guarding him or something like that. Dwayne Casey, you're bad for that one. You're bad. You know, that's a critical moment. You need to win that game. You know, Akeem Kimber says, only game going 7 is in the West. PJ Brown said, Kyrie gets traded to the Phoenix Suns after this series.
The Suns are one of the teams that was going after him during the summer.
Which him and Devin Booker, hey, that's a start.
Let me tell you something. See somebody like Kyrie, Westbrook, people like that.
You got to stop putting Kyrie Irving in the Westbrook situation.
Man, I'm telling you, they don't play winning basketball. I'm sorry. I call a spade a spade. People like that, they need to go to markets like the Suns. They need to go to teams like this, the Suns, the Magic, the Kings. They need to go to places like that where you know you ain't really going to win no championship, but you'll sell out the arena and you'll give the fans with a little hype, a little something to see and something to watch.
You gotta stop putting Kyrie in the Westbrook situation.
You know what I'm saying?
You can stop putting Kyrie Irving in the situation like Westbrook,
they need to go to places
Melo,
like that.
and
Kyrie
Boogie. You gonna stop putting him in them situations like that.
Boogie, another one.
These ball stoppers you
Kyrie, Westbrook, Melo, Boogie, all them.
What about Harden?
James Harden?
Yeah.
James Harden, he right there too. he right below the water like this. You know what I'm saying? The guys like that, bro, they don't need to be on teams that's trying to contend for a championship. They don't play winning basketball. They need to go somewhere, like I said, Sacramento, Phoenix, Orlando, the Nets. Go somewhere like that where you gonna sell out the arena and give people what they want, a little show that they won't see, but you ain't gonna never win nothing.
Is that bad?
That's the kind of basketball they play. They don't play winning basketball. I'm sorry. They talented players. I ain't never dispute that.
Right.
But they don't play winning basketball. They don't put your team in position to win championships. I'm sorry.
You can't put my man Kyrie in that situation.
Kyrie is right there with him. Telling you. Yeah, it's something. Look, what's going on? Look how you think Tatum and Jaylen Brown will be looking like this if Kyrie was still on that flu?
You know Kyrie got to get 25 shots a game. Listen, you know Kyrie Irving.
I can't make this up.
Kyrie Irving, I should about 20 times a game.
Man, if Kyrie was on this team, Jaylen Brown and Tatum would be a shell of themselves. They wouldn't even emerge to the players they are right now. Terry Rozier, we'll still think Terry Rozier is a bum on the bench.
Got a small point there.
I'm just saying. Terry Rozier, I've been saying this since it came out of Louisville. I've been telling people, y'all need to start listening to me. Terry Rozier is a starting point guard in this league. Now y'all starting to believe me.
Oh, that's facts. After this playoff, that's facts. There's no way. There's no way in the world after this playoff series that you keep both of them.
And look, it ain't that they just winning. And it's not that Terry Rozier, is the starting point guard on the team that's in the conference final. It's the way he's been doing it. If you go look at the plays he's making on a consistent basis since Kyrie been down, this dude look like a stud. Just saying, bro. The film don't lie.
He's playing out of his mind. Now, I would say PJ Brown said, "You right, G." They're talking about Kyrie Irving. He says durability is in question. The boy went on that plant-based diet, and he got even more brittle. Charles Scott says, Cavs do have players who can hit big shots. Kyrie is not a leader.
There you go. See?
It's that I want to debate. Is Kyrie Irving? No, he's not. He's not a leader. No, he's not by any means. Actually, Isaiah Thomas was a bigger leader for that team, but he has durability issues. But that's no here nor there. But at the end of the day, which I can't trade my man to Phoenix. Nah.
And I tell people this all the time. Go back and look at what Kyrie did with the Cavs before LeBron got there.
No one done nothing with the Cavs before LeBron got there.
Man, if Kyrie is that good, and he's a superstar like people say he is.
He's a superstar.
He was in the league three years before LeBron got there, and they couldn't make the playoffs in the East.
They couldn't win 25 games.
They couldn't make the playoffs in the East.
That's the LeBron effect.
Come on, man. Nah, ain't no LeBron effect. It's just Kyrie. He doesn't make his teammates better.
That's the LeBron effect.
And people talking about he carried LeBron to a championship. Stop.
Well, people got to stop that.
Come on, man.
People got to stop.
Come on, man. Stop, man. The man is a talented basketball player.
Now, Marty B said,
but stop talking like he played winning basketball because he don't.
Now, Marty B says, Terry gone after this year breakout star. Depends on where he goes. If he goes to a situation where, if you're asking me, if I'm the team like Boston, listen, I'm calling San Antonio. Hey, look, I got Rozier and I got Brown.
Why would you trade Rozier?
I need Kawhi.
Why you going to get Kawhi and you got Jaylen Brown and Tatum and Gordon Hayward? That don't make sense.
I'm keeping them two.
The Celtics need to go get him a big, man. Just keep the younger stud, Rozier 22, 21, who doesn't have any durability issues like Kyrie.
Charles says it. Kyrie would be a great number 2. You put Kawhi number 1.
So you're gonna get rid of your young studs, Jaylen Brown and Tatum,
and get Kawhi.
Man, I'm gonna get a big. I'm gonna give me a real big.
What big?
Go get Boogie. Go trade for Boogie. Like I said, I've been saying it. Go trade for
that
Boogie.
Ball stopper.
I think Brad Stevens could get him to conform into his offense.
I don't think he can get him.
I think he can. I just think Boogie don't respect Gentry. That's why he did what he wanted when he was here. That's why when he was Sacramento here, you know he ain't respect nobody in Sacramento.
No.
Come on, man. Certain coaches could get certain players to conform to their system. And just like Westbrook, you get that puppet like Billy Donovan out of there, and you get a coach in there that somebody he really respect, like a Mark Jackson. You might see Westbrook turn into a smarter player and do things and play a winning basketball type of style.
I don't know.
Just saying. Man. I'm not trading Rozier. If they ain't smart, I'm keeping Rozier. He's 21, 22 years. I think he's 21 years old. He doesn't have any durability issues like Kyrie. Kyrie been battling a knee injury for the last 3 years. It's the second procedure. When you start messing with that knee, ask Penny Hardaway. When you start messing with that knee, going inside that knee more than once, man, you better watch out. I'm gonna get rid of Kyrie right now. I can get some value for him. I'm getting rid of him. Bye. I'm gonna holler at you.
But what big is in Phoenix? Let's say he usually move to Phoenix. Like, what market would really want a Kyrie Irving that you can get a big? What big would you want?
Man, if I gotta get a 3-team trade in this, I gotta get 4 teams involved. I'm gonna give me a big.
Like a LaMarcus Aldridge?
Maybe. I don't know if you want to bring LaMarcus Aldridge to the Celtics because him and Al Horford kind of the same player. You know?
But you need. So what you saying? You need
maybe Marc Gasol. Marcus saw me. He in Memphis. They ain't winning nothing. They ain't got a shot in there to win nothing. Maybe Hassan Whiteside. They have him and Spoelstra been having problems since the beginning of the season.
Well, yeah.
It's some bigs out there that can make the Celtics really formidable to get to the finals and be able to compete with the Rockets and the Warriors of the world. I'm telling you. But keeping Kyrie ain't the answer. I'm telling you. Rozier, I'm telling you, I look at everything in the spiritual realm. I ain't trying to get religious on y'all, but I'm just saying. Everything happened for a reason. Mm-hmm. It was a reason why Kyrie went down, because the good Lord wanted to show the world.
Everybody want to see Drew Bledsoe.
That Terry Rozier is the man for the job.
Everybody want to see Drew Bledsoe.
He wanted the Danny Ainge to get his eyes open to what's going on. Look, Terry Rozier your future, not Kyrie Irving. Move on.
I don't know about that. You call my man a ball stopper.
He is a ball stopper.
Not a ball stopper.
He dribbled the ball for about 14 to 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. By the time somebody else touch it, you got 5 seconds left to go on the shot clock. I got to make a quick decision.
I see
that's not winning basketball.
See Marty B. Listen, Marty B on my page. Look, Terry is not Kyrie. Hold your horses. Now Ariel said, Fred, I told you about Kyrie. You know
what she told you about Kyrie?
She told me to trade him.
Trade him. You gotta trade him.
She told me to trade him for Rozier. I said you gotta hold your horses.
You gotta trade him.
Hold your horses. See,
so what you gonna do when next year come and the knee start flaring up again? And you done traded Rozier, and Rozier is an all-star.
Look, call San Antonio. Look, give me Patty Mills.
Patty what?
I need somebody to come off the bench. Give me Patty Mills. Give me Kawhi. I find him a point guard.
Patty who?
Patty Mills.
Why you keep talking about Patty Mills? What you think Patty Mills gonna do?
Kyrie gonna be fine. Kyrie coming back. You got to know that. You got to know that superstar talent. Oh boy, that boy coming back. He come back with vengeance. That dude there in the playoffs, man. Look.
You keep talking about Patty Mills like Patty Mills is
off
somebody to talk about. They got Marcus Smart coming off the bench.
Yeah, I got 2 of them now. I got a guy who hit me 3-pointers and hit free throws. Because you know Marcus Smart can't buy me a bucket at the free throw line. You know he can't do it.
If Danny ain't smart, you keep it Terry Rozier. Switching gears.
We talking San Antonio Spurs, folks. San Antonio Spurs won with 7 seed in the playoffs. Kawhi Leonard played 9 games this year, folks. People don't know that. He played 9 games this year out of 82. So that means he missed 73 games. Would it be a mistake for Kawhi Leonard to want to leave San Antonio? And if he does leave San Antonio, he begs for a trade. Where is the best fit for Kawhi Leonard?
I don't think it's a mistake for him to leave San Antonio. It's obvious that Popovich is trying to have control over Kawhi Leonard and his group and his posse, as they trying to call it. Yeah, the San Antonio Spurs team doctor said that he was cleared to play.
Right.
Kawhi had his own specialist look at his quad, and they say he wasn't ready
to play.
So guess what? The team doctor gonna tell me anything.
Right.
Guess what? I got my future to look after. I still got a lot of basketball left to play in my career. I got another contract I'm trying to get.
Right.
So y'all trying to get me to go play so I can make this injury get worse than what it is? No, I'm gonna sit out until it's time for me to come back. Right. So I think that rubbed Kyrie the wrong way and made Kawhi think, y'all don't really got my best interest at heart. And you know, I know it's probably more to the story that we all don't know about.
Correct.
But Kawhi Leonard feels strongly about it. And I feel like, you know, he's a person of not too many words.
Right.
So, and he seems like he's a good character guy. And if Kawhi thinks that being in San Antonio is not good for his career, look, I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to feel like he know what he's talking about. Right. Somewhere I think that he should think about trying to get traded to is someone like the 76ers. I think the 76ers would be a good spot. Can you imagine Embiid, Kawhi Leonard, and Ben Simmons? That'd be a nice
situation.
That'd be a nice situation right there. I think somewhere else that he should think about trying to get to the Pelicans. Like I said, the Pelicans, that'll be a nice situation for them to come to.
Correct.
You know, that'll be that wing that the Pelicans so desperately need with Drew Holiday and Anthony Davis, Rondo, if we could sign him back, let Boogie walk, or trade, do a sign and trade.
Send him to San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be a that'll be a nice situation too. And the third team I was looking at was possibly be the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, I know they got Giannis and everything like that.
And they got Parker.
Right, but Parker is one of those guys that
dangerous.
Right. And he's been in the doghouse with the front office and the coaching staff over there in Milwaukee.
He hasn't been re-signed. He wanted to have an extension. He didn't get it.
And I think Milwaukee could do something like what the Celtics are doing. You know, they starting Tatum and they starting Jaylen Brown at the 2 and the 3. I think you could do the same thing with Giannis and Kawhi. You start Kawhi at the 2, start Giannis at the 3, with Bledsoe at the 1. Man, you probably got the best 1-2-3 punch in the East.
Right.
So that's something I think that's a team, and then they're a young upcoming team.
Young team.
I think the Milwaukee is a team that they should think about trying to get him to, and I think the Milwaukee got some assets that they could probably trade in return to the Spurs. So as of 3 teams, the Pelicans, Philadelphia, and Milwaukee.
I would say this. I think anybody can really see that. I don't think San Antonio is the best fit for him anymore. I think when he's not part of that clique. He's not part of the clique of Pop, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. I think Steven Jackson went out there publicly and said a lot of different things. That's a clique, you know, and how they all kind of went against Kawhi a little bit. And he basically said those guys don't have the heart to go do some of the things that they've done. That was all sent from Pop. And I think he's established that he's an all-star player, superstar player in this league. And this league isn't the same way when Pop was coaching, when he had Tim Duncan, and when he had them guys in the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. This is a little bit different league now. And I think that he's established that, you know, I'm a superstar in this league, and the way y'all trying to undermine my injury is disrespectful, and I don't need to be a part of this. And I think he was showing that he's part of the San Antonio way, you know, kind of how we say in football, the Patriots way. You know, he was part of the San Antonio way. But right now, you're undermining, disrespecting the man's injury. Right. And you did this indirectly, publicly. You know what I mean? So I think that at the end of the day, he should leave. He should be out of San Antonio. The first team, I'm going to be biased. Hey, Boogie over there, Kawhi over here. Right. Figure out the logistics. That's my first fit. I think he pushed that team, New Orleans Pelicans, in one of those where I'm talking about from overachieving to, hey, you are contendership. Right. And guess what? You can go ahead. You can start selling some seats. That's the situation where you say, hey, look, you can do something. Then now the second situation I take, Philadelphia. I agree with you on that. You look at how Embiid and Ben Simmons, hey, look, you say Markelle Fultz down in San Antonio. You find another resource or two. Hey, look, you get a guy like that team, yes. Because Ben Simmons is not a great shooter, but what that guy and the leadership that he will bring to that team, man, look here. With
JJ at the 2?
With JJ at the 2, you bring JJ Redick. You know, that dude,
Sourkick,
you know,
at the 4.
At the 4, you start looking at some of the pieces. Covington.
The 76ers will be tough.
They'll be a tough team to beat.
You move Covington to the bench.
You move Covington off the bench. Now, the last team that I don't think they had the resources, but this is a 2K situation. But this is what Toronto needs. I'm going to be flagging out with everybody right now. Toronto needs a wing. They need a wing more than I think most teams in the league, because we finally saw that Rozier is just an all-star player, and Kyle Lowry, when the playoffs start, he's just average. And I got to take back my comments from earlier in the year. I was on board saying Kyle Lowry is better than Drew Holiday. My bad. He's not. He ain't that guy. You see what I'm saying? But that team, Toronto, to get to the next level, I think Dwayne Casey is not a horrible coach. I think he's good, but he's not obviously a Brad Stevens type of coach in his league. I think, you know, DeMar DeRozan is a very good player. He just don't shoot the 3-ball very well. And Kyle Lowry, he could be decent, but they're missing a wing. Now, actually, this is more of a 2K. I don't think they have the resources to get a guy like Kawhi. But if they got a guy like Kawhi, I think they'd have obviously made that situation down there when they played the Cavs this year. They wouldn't have got swept. They'll probably still be playing basketball right now. They get a guy like that, or Paul, you know, I ain't say, but they get a guy like Kawhi, they still playing basketball. Are they contenders to win a championship? Not really. But that's what that team is missing.
And another thing is, too, you know, some people say it's a mistake for him to leave San Antonio. Look, he didn't win 2 rings, 3?
He played in 2, won 1.
No, man, Kawhi got more than 1 ring, huh?
1 ring.
I thought he had 2 rings.
They played Miami twice. He won 1, he lost 1.
All right, so he only got 1 ring.
1 ring.
So, you know, he got him a championship. He got him a championship. I mean, some people played 13, 14 years and never won a ring. You got a ring.
Charles Barkley.
He was the MVP of that finals.
Finals.
You got your ring, man. Go get paid and go play somewhere where you want it and somewhere that you feel good and you feel like there's somewhere you happy. That's what it's all about right now. I mean, so, you know, and I'm sure it's going to be most stuff that's going to come out once he leaves San Antonio. Yeah. Just like when Malcolm Butler left the Patriots, it all came out.
Right.
You know, it's going to be a soap opera.
Yeah.
So, you know, Kawhi, I hope they don't keep him in San Antonio. I hope they trade him. And like I say, one of them 3 destinations, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, or the Pelicans, will be 3 good situations for him. So we're going to see how that's going to work out. Yeah. But I do think that he does need to get out of San Antonio and need to get out there fast.
I think we're wasting his basketball greatness by staying there. And I would say this for more importantly, I'll add something to it. I think that team has been constructively built properly. But I think that now you're reaching a point where since 2010 up to now, the NBA is not won through a one-star and role-player league. Meaning that I'm not trying to be disrespectful to what Greg Popovich has done from a coaching position in the past 20 years in the NBA. I don't ever disrespect that. That is greatness what we witness in coaching. But Kawhi Leonard is the star of that team, and everyone else is a role player, and that includes Marcus Aldridge. And I think it's very hard to compete for championships now when only having one star and role players.
Right.
And especially being in the conference you're in. So, with all that being said, I don't think San Antonio has been that team to just bring in superstar talent. They kind of drafted those players and they kind of grew. Now, they brought in free agents, but they've never been from a superstar position. They always bring in a role situational guy. I remember when they used to have like a Steve Kerr. They'll bring in a Robert Ory. I remember one time they had Antonio McDyess coming in. You know, they had situational guys, but those guys were never stars at this time when they brought those guys in. Like right now, they have a Rudy Gay, you know, who's a very good basketball player, but he's no longer an all-star, superstar-like talent. He's just a situational guy. You can't keep trying to win with that mentality when teams are like Golden State, the Houston Rockets. You know what I mean? I know they didn't really achieve well, but when you look at the roster of the Timberwolves and what they can be, you know what I mean? You start looking at teams like that and they put it all together. Or even a few years back when we had OKC, when you had Harden, Durant, and Westbrook, if that situation would have just meshed and stood together long enough due to contract reasons.
Right.
Man, you can't sit there and say, look, we going to keep like this, and he going to be the guy. No, that's not the league. So trade Kawhi Leonard. You get Boogie. We send him on down here. Or send him in to Philadelphia with 2 young studs and Brett Brown and, you know, let them see what they can do. Or Milwaukee's a good situation. I think Toronto, which Toronto they have the resources, but at the end of the day, hey, you make a move, get that guy out of there, and I think you'll see better years out of him because he'll be playing with another all-star-like player.
PJ Brown said, just don't go to the Warriors. If all else fails, trade to the Warriors.
You sit over Ryan Anderson?
That's a position where injuries happen like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and just say we should just release whoever we sign after Mark Ingram come back, because you just never know.
You never know. Right. I agree with that. You don't know if this guy gets hurt or gets injured. Hey, what's the case? What's the scenario? You don't know. I would 100% agree with that. But how I look at it is, man, look, I think the Saints will be fine. If Drew Brees had to go throw the ball 40 times a game, I'm not afraid of that, you know, because he's been proving that he can do that throughout the seasons from as we watching him. Look, if he had to throw the ball 40 times against the Giants, I could live with that. If he had to throw the ball 40 times against the Buccaneers, I could live with that because Mark Ingram's not there. I got it. But I'm only bringing the guy in after what I saw behind Alvin Kamara at the camp. If I looking behind him and say, okay, that guy really ain't it, that guy ain't it, then go sign your guy. But I'm not going out here being desperate because he's not going to be available to say, oh, I need to go get a guy tomorrow. And that's not what I'm thinking. But I understand your concern. That's a big issue. It's a big deal. You can't just, I'm not going to just disrespect 4 games. It's 4 games. It's the National Football League.
I'm going to sign DeMarcus Murray. Straight up. Straight up. And I'm going to tell you something else. Mark Ingram, you might be in your last days, buddy. You might be in your last days.
as much as Mark Ingram has provided for this team, and I look at Mark Ingram and I say to myself, man, look, these past 2 seasons, having all pro years, you know, being in a Pro Bowl, he's gotten better. Season after season in this offense, in this situation, every time I look at these dudes, he's getting better and better as a football player. But unless you can bring him back for that contract like you just had, a 4-year deal, you know what I mean, a 4-year, 3-year deal, making about $4 million a season, I don't see how you bring back Mark Ingram. I just don't see it. I think he's a guy that's going to want to go 5. This is the last contract. He going on a $5 or $6 million deal. He's going to look at what Freeman got. He's looking at what, you know, that franchise tag and, what's his name?
Le'Veon Bell?
Le'Veon Bell. He's looking at what Shane McCoy.
You ain't no Le'Veon Bell.
No, but he's looking at what the top 5 guys.
You're not Devontae Freeman either.
No, but he's looking at what they got and saying, okay, look, I think I'm worth more than $4 million a season. And I think that's when things start to get complicated by keeping Mark Ingram back. You know, I think you're going to start looking at, hey, look, if he won $5 or $6 million, look, he ain't your guy. But look, if he want to take 2 or 3, or maybe 4 at best, hey, you can bring him back for a season or 2. But it depends on what he wants. And if he wants $5 or $6 million, he wants $5 or $6 million, he's gonna be in the line with Kenneth Vaccaro. You're a free agent, go test your market, you know. But if you want $3 or $4 million, you bring him back. He's good for that because he's gonna give you 800 to 1,000 yards, and he's controlling his fumbles. So it's a good situation. He knows the offense. But if he wants anything more than that, you're gonna have an issue. That's just the facts. But him being out 4 games,
it's gonna hurt.
You're gonna see the effect. It's either you're gonna see the effect of it, or you're gonna see that Alvin Kamara is that dude you was talking about last year coming to the draft, and he's Mr. All-Purpose, and you're gonna be like.
And it's not that I don't think that Alvin Kamara can handle the load. It's just that I like the fact that when you got 2 running backs,
right,
that bring 2 different dynamics to the game, it's harder to game plan.
Right.
When you go into the game and you know you only got this one back that you got a game plan for, so to speak, it's easier to game plan for. When he in the game, you know what's coming.
You know the targets are coming.
You know you know tendencies. A lot of they played had a lot of plays last year where they had Mark Ingram and Kamara in the game at the same time.
Right.
And you know that puts the defense in a compromising situation.
Yeah.
So I mean,
you're looking at tendencies.
I just think from a scheme standpoint, and when it comes to game planning,
right,
it's gonna put the Saints, you know, behind the 8 ball, man. So I just hope that, you know, we could sign somebody like DeMarcus Murray, and hopefully he can fill that void for them 8 games, and we don't miss too much.
I think when I look at DeMarcus, I'm not looking at the same back. If he could come in and know that, hey, look, you could get about 10 to 15 carries and just be a bruiser, not be so much of a home run hitter, but just be a bruiser. I need you to get those 2 or 3 yard carries. I need to get Alvin Kamara gonna do the rest. But you get those 2 or 3 yard carries, hey, look, I like it. You know, but if you coming in thinking that, hey, look, you know what? I'm the same DeMarcus Murray character that rushed for, you know, 1,700 yards in the Dallas uniform, then you overexceeded your expectations.
It ain't that I think that DeMarcus Murray can't still play.
But him.
Well, I don't think people think that he can't play at a high level no more. It's just the money he wanted and the money he was getting paid. That's why he not with Tennessee no more.
Yeah.
You know, if he would have took a pay cut, he probably wouldn't be in the situation he's in right now.
Right.
So I still think that Mark Ingram could probably still. I said Mark Ingram. I still think DeMarcus Murray could possibly be a 1,000-yard back still in this league.
Right.
So, you know, we go ahead and sign him. Hopefully we can sign him to a 1-year deal for the cheap and make it incentive based. I think we'll be all right, bro. I'm telling you.
That may not be a bad situation. I'll wait to camp though, just to see what you got. You drafted a dude. You know, you got 2 undrafted free agents from the last year. You got Kamara. You got to see what you have. If I see what I have and I say, okay, listen, that it looked good, then I could deal with that. But if they start looking like Rudy Poo, boy, look here. What's the number to his agent? I need this boy here.
Akeem Kimball said Sean Payton said he's not pursuing a vet while Mark out. I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that. I mean,
I think they contacted somebody.
They'll be stupid to go into the season with Edmonds, Kamara, and Boston Scott as your running backs. I just don't. No,
that don't sound good.
No,
that don't sound good. That don't. Now that you put it that way, now that you say it that way, that don't even sound good.
No,
you know that don't sound like. Nah, that's like going to season with Benny Cunningham and Trey Mason, if you're the Rams, and say, okay, let's go play football. It don't really sound that good, you know, until you hear a Ty Gurley name in there. You know what I mean? You got to have a guy. You know what I mean? That didn't sound that good. Now that you mentioned it,
I'm just saying. So I mean, the Sean Payton. Now, if DeMarcus Murray looking for a lucrative contract, yeah, you let him stay on his couch.
Right.
But if we can convince him to come in for a 1 year deal, sign up for a 1 year, $1 million deal, well, a 1 year deal, $2 million deal, make $1 million guarantee, the other $1 million incentive base, something like that, something along them lines. Bring him on in, and then when Mark even come back, y'all figure it out after that.
Right.
So it's gonna be interesting to see.
It's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see exactly what shapes of it, what halves of it, because at the end of the day, we know he's out. And then when you know a guy like that is going to be out for 4 games, you got to start asking yourself a question. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? They say they're not looking to bring anybody in. They're not looking to. But the only position I would say that this team has always consistently hit on from an undrafted point of view or a low-ranked point of view was running back. Pierre Thomas, out there, Antonio Pittman back, talking about in 2007. We're talking about the Kyrie Robinsons. We're talking about
Chris Ivory's.
So this position has always been a undrafted position for this roster. Now, can Edmonds be that guy? Could that guy be hard to be that guy? We don't know yet, but they've always shown in the past since Sean Payton's been here that an undrafted running back can make a team.
Sean Payton what he might do, he might just go through minicamp, might go through training camp and preseason, see how it looks, and if he feel like, all right, these guys can get the job done behind Kamara, then he might try to go sign somebody. But then you playing Russian roulette with that because what if DeMarcus Murray and people like Alfred Morris been signed with somebody else by then? So now it's a gamble. And I know, we talking about 4 games that we're going to miss in August, but I'm telling you, bro, 4 games is critical in the NFL, bro. I'm telling you, it's critical.
Because how you start that season, if you start off 1-3 or 0-4, just using it as an example, not saying that you're going 0-4 because Mark Ingram not in it. But if you start off for 1-3, that's not a good situation. You got to say to yourself, hey, look, you're playing comeback mode. You know what I mean? You're bringing a guy back into a situation where you may be force-feeding him versus having a flow.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because you're playing catch-up. Now, teams are going to start to, focus in on what you want to do there because you're playing from behind. You see what I'm saying? From a win situation. It's a lot, but I'm just using the data from what we had in the past. I'm saying to myself, this team is used to, grooming undrafted free agents, especially at that running back position. I'm looking for one of these guys to step up. If by 2 weeks in the camp, if I don't think that guy is stepping up, listen, I'm working out of DeMarco. I'm working out of Alfred Morris. I'm working those guys out because at the end of the day, I don't want to go in the season if those guys ain't showing me what I need to be showing. I'm not waiting to a preseason game. I'm waiting to camp. Camp going to tell me that I should want to bring a guy in or not. That's just me.
Right.
But right now, I say no. But if their camp tells me that these guys ain't looking to par, make a call, dog. And don't hesitate. I'm only bringing them in for a physical. I ain't really here to work them out. Hey, you pass your physical? Hey, sign them up. Go strap up. I'm showing y'all motherfuckers today.
I think we got Jonathan Williams on the roster too. I think we got him on the roster too. I think he's another running back we have on the roster. I think we got a total of like 4 or 5 running backs on the roster.
Right. Now, Tony, I think Maury said rise up. I agree.
This man said Agent Peterson. No.
Brian Jenkins, Agent Peterson. No. Wherever, if he's on the couch, he can stay on the couch. No. Wherever he's at, he can stay there. That's not a good situation. No. It didn't work. They made a trade for him last year. They did the best they can do with that. That's leave that right there. I think DeMarco or Alfred Morris is a perfect fit for what that team would do. Adrian, you keep him right there. I don't want to see him back in the Saints uniform.
Right.
That's just
right.
That wouldn't. some marriages didn't work. Some things just don't fit.
Lasco, I mean, Keem said Lasco, he's a special team player. We know he doesn't have a shot in hell to crack the rotation as far as the running back role.
Lasco ain't gonna work. Don't bring me back on what to do. The Marcus Murphy that we drafted at Missouri a few years back.
Right.
I don't need the Marcus Murphys. I don't need none of that. We talking about a guy who can come in and really play a situation on offense. And those guys those are special teams guys, and that's just what it is. Daniel Lasco, you know, he's special teams. You know, even though he had a bad injury on special teams, but he's a special teams dude. That's what it is. This ain't college football no more. His role in the NFL is special teams. That's not the guy I'm looking for. But before we get ready to wrap up, Dez still ain't signed, man. Is Dez still a dominant receiver?
I just think it ain't about his ability at this point. I just think, do you want to take on that circus that he gonna bring with him during training camp? I mean, some teams don't want to deal with that, bro. Some teams don't want to deal with that. I think before it's all said and done, man, he gonna be signed with somebody before training camp. Somebody gonna land him.
Think it's about money? Do you think it's money related why he didn't sign?
I think that's part of it.
Part of it?
I think that's part of it. I mean, because the money he probably won't, they probably like, that ain't worth the circus that you're gonna bring.
Right.
So, you know, he might have to humble himself and come down a little more on the guaranteed money he's trying to get. But wherever he signs to, I think he's gonna sign with somebody. I think he's gonna sign with somebody that's a playoff contending team, and he's gonna help that team, and he's gonna be very, very motivated to prove the whole league wrong that he is a top tier receiver in his league.
Think it's an AFC team or NFC team?
I think he preferably wants to go to an NFC East team. He came out and said he wants to hit the Cowboys twice. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but at this point, like I said, the 49ers is somewhere he needs to really consider going, straight up.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great situation.
If you look at the situation there, obviously they still got Garcon. They just signed Marcus Goodwin. He could come in there and still be maybe their ex-receiver and give them some good, viable snaps. You know, I think that's actually not a bad situation for him in San Fran. You know what I mean? You're on the West Coast. You're not around all the minute distractions. You can come in and play football. I didn't think about the 49ers. That's actually a good fit. Or I know Baltimore was trying to sign him. The Lions may not be a bad situation. You know what I mean? But I don't know what their money or cap is looking like. But for a guy like this, that talent still not to be signed, I think there's something else that hasn't been discussed, that hasn't been said publicly. But I find that pretty odd, you know, that Dez Bryant is still when I think of elite guys who get released, like Tyrann Mathieu released, man, within a day or two later, he wouldn't, you know, I think when Josh Norman got rescinded the franchise, like a day later, he had a lucrative deal over there in Washington. So I think about elite guys who can play at a high level. Those guys get signed very, very fast. For Dez still not to be signed, I'm saying to myself, what do these teams know? Is he signed? Are they offer him league minimum?
Right. Nah, I don't think it's that. I think, like I said, the guaranteed money is probably the issue, and they saying it itself. For the money that you're trying to get in guaranteed money, it ain't worth the risk and the turmoil that you could possibly bring to our locker room.
The circus.
And the circus that you're going to bring to training camp, man. A lot of them teams don't want to deal with that, man. That's just what it is.
Sound like the Browns, man. The Browns need all the circus they can get.
Well, before we wrap it up, by next Thursday, we're going to be seeing my Rockets probably up 2-0. So you be prepared for me to talk a whole lot of smack when we get on the show next Thursday, man.
Boy, if y'all down 2-0.
I'm going to face y'all like a man. But that ain't going to happen.
I'm just face y'all like a man. But listen, enjoy y'all week. Listen, y'all add a friend to like the page, because throughout the week, I'm always doing some video that people think I'm drinking bleach all the time, you know. But tag a friend. This is FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports. This is our time, and I'm on. We sit down, we talk about what's going on in the world of sports. We tag in, we get people involved, and we read comments, we get people involved and interacting. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, like the page, share the page with a friend, watch for things that we post. Follow G Sports on Facebook, on G Sports. Follow them on Twitter, G Paid in Full. I'm on Twitter at B Fred Jones. Follow us on FanView NOLA on Instagram, and follow us on Twitter. Man, listen, appreciate Appreciate y'all tuning in. We better get ready to roll out. Come catch you Monday night. Boy, you know you'll get blowed out. You're going to get a message from me.
I'm going to be on Twitter talking hella noise.
You know
Get
it's
ready.
going down.
Get ready. Rockets twerk. Stay woke.
Y'all have a great night. Well, you know I'm going to let you have it.
Oh yeah, we live. Think we in here. New Orleans, baby. Yeah.
Holla at you, man, and act with us. And we gonna make this thing on the top of New Orleans Talk Network. Where real fans talk about real sports. And not only sports, everyday activity and life, man.
Yo, what's up? It's Pooley Williams, 2017 Mr. Football. You are now tuned into FanView Live on New Orleans Talk Network.
Well, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayOU15.
Listen, this is your boy, Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFredJones.
This is Jeremiah Great, man, with G Sports. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Great, A.K.A, and on Twitter, G_paid in full 08.
Pay me the money. Money.